Hey, what's going on, knife nerds? I got the Kizer Hyper here with me today. And I'm going to swap out all this gear right here with this brass hardware. And in doing so, you guys are going to get to see the build and how this piece is put together. It's a pretty unique little guy. Alright, let's take a look. So it's T8s all around, except for a couple screws for the pocket clip, it's T6. And I noticed that the pivot screw, there's one on each side. So I'm going to start with the clip side. Alright, let's lay this out, because since I'm going to be swapping out the hardware, I don't want to lose that. I'm going to be swapping it over. Alright, there we go. Alright, you see that little liner? Just like the original, Kizer original. Alright, so there's that clip I was talking about. T6. So I'm going to take all this out because, you know, we're swapping it. The clip we keep. Yeah. It's pretty neat. So they have other color scales that we can buy separately, mix and match. Cool, huh? Alright, let's put these aside. You can take a look at the mechanism real quick. Let's get that spring out the way. So yeah, just like the original, nearly the same build. Alright, so we're going to keep the liners. There's the button. The plunge we're going to change. I see a plunge over there. So we're going to keep the spring bearings, the stop pin. Okay. Oh yeah, take a look at this D-shaped pivot. Alright. Keeps the scales independent from each other. So I'm going to take all that out. Alright, we're going to keep that pivot. Barrel spacer goes up there. Yeah, pretty clean, pretty neat. And these T6 pocket screws actually hold the scale together also, so we have to take that out. So basically, you're gonna have to take everything apart. Keep in mind, the show side, the button side, has this little coupling, this little ring for the plunge. I'm gonna change that out also. Cool. Alright, so there's 2 pivot screws, 2 big body screws, and 2 medium body screws, and 2 little pocket screws. So you have large, medium, small coupling for the plunge, barrel spacer, plunge, and 2 pivot screws. Those are going to be swapped out. So let's move that aside. Get these into play. All Alright, so I like to start with putting together the button side. I'm going to be putting together the whole apparatus, the whole mechanism, like that. You'll see. Alright, so I'm going to put together the button side, the side where the plunge goes. Now don't forget, you're going to be wanting to put that O-ring in. And pay attention, if you're not sure which way it goes in, this discolored side is going to be on the inside. This clean looking side is going to be facing the show side. And which liner do you use? The side with the polished track area for the bearing. Alright, so don't forget, we're going to need to screw on this little T6. It's going to hold everything together. Oop, get back here. Flip it over. Get that medium size screw. And then that's going to hold the liner in. Let's get the barrel spacer in. It's going to take the large, longer screw. Alright. Alright, so next step, I'm going to put in this D pivot. Alright. Let's get the bearing in. Stop pin. Next, I like to put the knife, the blade in. Bearing. And this is kind of like I guess the important part. Maybe other people have different styles and techniques, but for this knife, I actually like to put, here we go, hold on. I like to put the other liner on right now, actually. Be careful, this blade is loose. So maybe kind of lean it up or tilt it up a bit so the blade stays down. Alright, be careful. Alright, so that's in. Next step, I take the plunge and I put it in there. Bam, push it in, and now the blade is locked in. Okay, so it won't be swinging. Still, I like to kind of keep it there, keep my fingers there just in case. And now, let's get the spring. There it is. So I set the spring on there. Let's put it down. Now we gotta put this side together. So this is the clip side. T6, all right. Sometimes it's kind of annoying. lining up this clip. There we go. Good. All right. So this is where I like to hold the piece. Line that up with the pivot. All right. Bam. It's together. And this is where I also like to check the pivot. All right, good. So opening and closing. Let's put everything together. All right, good. Let's loosen that up. All right, there we go. What do you guys think? All right, so here's a size comparison of the Hyper and the originals. You can see that the Hyper is slightly longer than the original size original, and an obvious size difference with the original XL. This Hyper is basically using the original platform, evident in its liner, button placement. Yeah, it's exactly just like the original, just different build in the handle and blade shape. Great piece.